Hey guys, what's up? I'm a new World of Warcraft player, specifically a new hardcore player. I've been playing the game for a long time, basically throughout my whole life, but um, only recently started doing the hardcore challenge. I've lost a few mages, but I've been having a lot of fun with the journey, and I've been keeping up with a lot of the major streamers like Czar and Grubby, Annie, and a few others. And I recently saw that Grubby's 56 mage, undead, ended up dying in BRD. So we're going to be reacting to his video on I lost my 230 hours WoW character. I have no regrets. Excited to see his way of processing the loss of such a high level character. I've uh, lost a 41, and I know that feeling of like, oh God, what do I do? And so it'll be interesting to see how he processes this. Let's check it out.
I started playing World of Warcraft 5 weeks ago. I initially never got into World of Warcraft because I was afraid that it was going to be too good, and I now know this to be true. The goal was to get level 60 and to join OnlyFans in order to do the raids on Molten Core and everything else. And I had an amazing time. But the journey isn't over, though it is over for my first character. My mage died at level 56 on Christmas Day, which sucks. It really sucks. But it doesn't change my mindset on hardcore. Hardcore is an unforgiving mistress, but it gave the whole journey so much meaning. Whereas otherwise I might be thinking, well, I don't know if I can do this challenge, so I'll just run it over and over again. Now I'm thinking any moment could be my last.
I think he's right about this, that like when you add death into the mix, as macabre as that sounds, it kind of elevates the experience. It makes it more real and it makes it more visceral. And I think that's why hardcore has garnered such a huge following, is because that emotional weight and resonance is there. And if it was just a normal game, it's like, oh yeah, I'll just restart and I'll just go back to my corpse and revive. But with hardcore, there are no second chances. So, and I also really admire his tenacity here. He's very much like, I'm going to keep going, you know? And I really think that this could have been a moment for him to say, just like, screw it, this game sucks. And he's not doing that. He's taking it with so much grace and humility. And that's really cool to see.
And you try to prepare for that moment all the time. If I get in trouble, I'm gonna Frost Nova. If I get in trouble, I'm gonna Ice Block, Cold Snap, Ice Block, Speed Potion, Invis Potion, Free Action Potion. Which, by the way, I don't even remember what it does. I didn't have a Petrification Potion. If I get in trouble in a dungeon, I'm gonna leave party and phase out and Hearthstone automatically after 60 seconds. And I'm gonna get on an invincible spot in order to have an evasion spot so the creeps don't attack me anymore. Or maybe we'll kill all the mobs together. We'll all press the right buttons. In Warcraft 3, if I make a mistake and I get into a losing position and I lose, I can try again in 10 minutes. And again, and again, and again. And in World of Warcraft, it takes 240 hours to make a mistake and lose the game. At least it did so for my second character. And so now, if I want to get in the same situation again and try to do better, it may take me another 200 hours. And that's pretty crazy. And that makes it pretty hard to learn the game on World of Warcraft on hardcore, but you try anyway. And it's been such a fun journey, and I kind of want to talk about what happened, where did it go wrong, and what I'm going to do going forward, and how it felt when it went wrong.
It's interesting he's playing a druid for his second class. I can relate to that a lot. Druid was my second character in the classic re-release. My first character on WoW ever was a mage. And when Classic came out in 2019, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to play something different. And Druid was my second choice. It's pretty cool. Yeah, hopefully he's vibing with it. Sounds like he's really processed it at this point. There's been some time passed and he's leveling again. I kind of want to hear what his takeaways are. I want to see like how he is going to move forward from this and some of the things, the lessons that we can take ourselves for the journeys we're making in hardcore.
So on this fateful evening, 25th of December on Christmas Day, I went into a dungeon, BRD, Black Rock Depths, with a couple of good friends of mine, Dendy, Anifusia, and two of my viewers, Milkheart and Earth. Only one of us survived going into that dungeon, and that sucks. But surprisingly, even though it is the end of my character and the end of that journey, I didn't feel that bad on the evening of, because I feel like we did what we can. All of us wanted to survive, we all wanted to save each other. And although you can think of so many improvements any one of us could have done in order to maybe be safer and get out of it alive, and there's so many ways definitely that we could have, in that moment, we all tried our best. We all wanted to live, we all wanted to help each other, and that's what matters. And I don't want to get it too much into what should have been or what could have been. Instead, if I get in a similar situation, I can try to remind myself of evasion spots. And if I don't know them, I can look them up on YouTube. And I can try to practice and memorize my threat response when we get in trouble. And if you haven't seen the clip yet, I'm gonna link it in the description. Initially, I thought that I was the one that AoE pulled. It was a bit hectic. It started with Dendy mentioned something about loot, so I looked at the loot table.
I gotta give a shout out to Annie as well. You can see it in his chat for this video. People like saluting her and stuff. Like, yeah, she could have literally hearthed out and she didn't. And hopefully he plays that part in the clip so we can see that. That was one of those moments where I was just like, oh, mad respect. I don't know if I am that good of a person to stick around for something like that.
For the upcoming boss, then while I was still in the loot screen, we were already finding mobs, so I
his face
then,
just like pogging over the loot.
Mob, I was still looking at loot because it was all going a little bit too fast for me. I think we had all gotten a little complacent,
like
probably.
Too comfortable.
Someone
yeah
said make sure not to AoE, and I did, and then I saw a pool happening on the high ground
man.
with multiple mobs coming in, and initially I thought that was my pool. Now I've watched my death several times since, and our death on many clip channels, something that was a fun daily habit before it included our deaths.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't as fun the morning after, but I've seen it.
I can imagine that, like, you're in the spotlight, right? You have thousands of viewers, and part of your career is watching other people's deaths, and then it's yours. Like, oh, that would be heart-wrenching, man.
And maybe it wasn't me that pulled the mobs, but the important thing for me to remember is that it could have been me maybe that would have solved the pull. I'm not saying it should have been, but it could have been. There are spells we could have cast, there are calls we could have done, and this is a great learning moment. And to me, that's what matters most.
See, I think that's the perfect mindset when you play hardcore. Like, you're not going to ever know everything that you can know to survive a situation. Being humble about what could I have done better? It's like a tough thing to do. It's a tough way to think about the world because you want to think that you have all the pieces and everything figured out. But it's, to me, like, so humble of him to put his ego aside and say, man, looking at the situation again, there's a bunch of stuff I could have done different. I really respect that mentality a lot.
We could have pulled them around the corner, line of sighted them, and then blow them up
A
together.
Chad, dude. Such a good guy.
But at the end of the day, I had never been here before, and I hadn't done enough maybe mental preparation what we're gonna do going into this room. It didn't feel that bad in a way because I've really been liking the experience of playing World of Warcraft, and I figured, okay, I'm gonna just try again, and I'm gonna go back into the journey, and I'll go on a new character, and I'm looking forward to trying a new character, and this is all true. And it would have been great to reach level 60 and have my account there and have my mage be there. But in the end, I can't just think of the one moment it went wrong. I think of all the moments where I nearly died as well on my character. And when Pissjob saved me from the ogres. Or when I was 1 HP, when I was level 7, when Pissjob nearly griefed me, trying to kill me.
Oh my god, I didn't see that. Whoa, I had no idea he was that close to dying at the very start. That's insane. 1 HP. Oh my god. What? I need to go watch that at some point.
I fell down the pirate shaft. I didn't fall down the pirate shaft. Wait. When I fell down the boat in the pirate hold of a boat, and the pirates all
oh, that quest is so scary.
Pirate ship. When I fell down the pirate ship, that's what I meant.
Oh my god, that looks so freaky.
I could have died 5 or 10 times earlier.
Yeah.
Due to any one of my mistakes or coincidence or someone else's mistake, but mostly mine.
That's another thing we have to remember is that, dude, this is his first time playing the game. Like, he knows nothing. that we would know as vet players, right? Playing for 20 years, having run character after character after character. Like, I know those not booty bag. I know those Tanaris quests, right? Like, he has no idea. Like, and the fact that he made it that far on a first run is insane to me, dude. He's clearly a gamer. Duh.
And so I'm grateful for the time that I've got to get all the way to level 56. There is a lot to learn in World of Warcraft, and I enjoy learning all those things. And now I'm going to be seeing the game from a different direction, because I'm going to be playing as a Tauren Druid. So let's talk a little bit about why I'm changing faction and why I'm changing class, and also how it felt to have had my character die in the days after the 25th of Christmas, because I am currently on the 27th. So initially I thought, let's just go again and so on. But then in the next morning, I actually felt a lot worse. Waking up knowing that my character was dead really sucked. And I had kind of gotten into this habit in the morning to log into my character with a sense of gratefulness that my grubby level 56 mage character is still alive. Had kind of become a daily habit. I would log in and I would sort through my materials, my mithril ore, and I would go through my gold, and I'll send some things to my alternate bank account, and then that bank account would send it back to me, and I would go to Gadgetsan, or I would go to Undercity or Orgrimmar, and I would do some crafting and level up my skills. It was fun, and I was becoming really proud of my character that had leveled up cooking.
I guess in OnlyFans you're technically allowed to have a bank alt. I did not know that. I thought, well, I guess they're all doing different versions of the hardcore challenge, because like Zaryu doesn't even have a bank alt, I don't think, for Last Monk. So I need to make a bank alt for my character. Oh my god.
To nearly 300, mining was getting closer, engineering, fishing.
So far.
And that's just all the skills that my character learned.
Just
I had so
gone.
much loot, I had so much filled bags, and a filled quest log, and a filled bank, and I had so much gold. Now, I saved some of that to my bank alt. I probably saved about 150 gold, which should give me a nice jumpstart going forward. But I invested a lot into that character. Nearly 10 days of playtime, so nearly 250 hours of playtime.
So
and that's
much
just
time.
where I was gaming, not thinking about the game and what I'm going to be doing in that day. So I felt a sense of loss in the morning. Also the fact that Annie and two of my viewers lost their character as well was not great. But I know we all did our best, and so in the end I had to make peace with it. Then I had a great Christmas celebration yesterday with family, where I got to see a lot of my family, and it was so nice. And I didn't play any World of Warcraft yesterday, and because I was spending time with family, it allowed me time to kind of forget about it and focus on other things that are important in life and things that are fun, and it was honestly a great time. And when we got back last night, I played some Path of Exile with the wifey, and just playing off stream, being able to go full ghoul mode and just chit chat a bit with the wifey while we're killing zombies in Path of Exile, that was a lot of fun. So I enjoyed yesterday.
I think that what he's saying here also speaks to the power of like balance. It's literally on one of the WoW loading screens, like, take everything in moderation, even World of Warcraft. And yeah, taking a step back from something that's kind of stressful and strenuous, I think can like ultimately be a good thing for a lot of people. So it sounds like he got what he needed, and I'm really glad that he looks so happy, and like I feel like he's at peace with what happened, and that's really, really nice to see.
Then today, when it became time to stream, I suddenly felt kind of not good. I actually went for a nap, which is why my voice is a little different now. Instead of streaming, I went for a 1 or 2 hour nap because I suddenly didn't feel good. I was a bit dizzy, maybe almost a little bit nauseous. I couldn't eat, and that was pretty unusual. So yeah, I didn't really know what's going on, but I had the nap and felt better, had food, kissed my wife, a good evening, and now I'm here, and I'm going to play on my Tauren. So what are the goals going forward, and how am I feeling? Well, I do think it sucks, and it sucked more. It sucks more and more, so I think there was a little bit of emotion suppression going on when I lost my character. I think I wanted to stay positive, that I didn't feel that bad towards my teammates, Annie, Dendy, and the two viewers, Milkheart and Irv. I think I didn't want anyone to feel any worse than they were. I didn't think I wanted to have Twitch chat or anyone that watches this on YouTube feel any worse than they.
I think too, if you watch the clip, the death clip itself, you'll see that immediately after he was like, I'm so sorry. Like, they were all like, I'm so sorry. Oh God. They all immediately thought, how could I have done this better? And it's just like such a non-toxic group, man. Like, that's the kind of group you want to run stuff with at all times. It's just nobody in there's playing the blame game. Nobody in there is yelling. Nobody in there is you just like, they're just all good people. And it's like, it sucks to see something like this happen. Nobody meant for it to happen like this, but that's just how the game is. And now next time, if they get to that point in that dungeon, it's like, yeah, now you know.
They already did. I've had a lot of outpouring of support for the character, almost like, you know, someone really died.
Right.
It's just a video game character, right, guys?
Join Planet Fitness now.
Oh, man.
And pay nothing.
But I had a lot of I had a lot of support from people on Discord and Twitter and everything. And I really appreciate that, guys. You've made this journey very magical. And while this character's journey is over, in general, the journey is not. What are the goals going forward? January 18th is slated to be the first raiding day. And today we're on the 27th of December. That's a little more than 3 weeks away. That's a pretty rough schedule to get a character to level 60.
That's a lot.
Maybe they'll delay the raiding date if other people meet their untimely ends as well as I and some others did. And maybe that will be the raiding date. But there will be additional opportunities to join on raids, no doubt. And so I'm just gonna do the best I can to grow my Tauren Druid character, who is on the actual live server of Doomhall on the 20th anniversary edition. We were looking at my dead ghost just now. This was my bank alt, my undead rogue. I changed my mind. Didn't want to play rogue anymore. Didn't want to play undead anymore. It's gonna be a Tauren Druid. And there he is. Long live the king. The king is dead. So what am I going to be doing here? Why did I pick Druid? Well, initially I thought I might want to play Orc. Because I've never played Orc yet in World of Warcraft. An Orc character would make sense for me because I'm Orc in Warcraft 3 and I always have been. So why did I pick Undead? Well, initially, Soda Popping told me that once you stick to a race, you have to stick to it. I was looking for a race that would have multiple classes that I might like playing. Just in case I would die on my Warlock, then I could play something else. And in my mind, that was going to be Rogue, Priest, or Mage. And I died on my Warlock at level 15, so I switched to Mage, and honestly, it's the most fun I've ever had with World of Warcraft. Oh my god, mages are so much fun. You can do AoE farming, you can contribute in dungeons. People love to have a mage on their team because you can control large mobs of creeps and mobs in dungeons. It's so valuable. You can mage teleport. You can teleport others. People beg you for teleports.
Dude, yeah, mage is crazy. The utility of a mage is why I play a mage in hardcore. It's one of those classes where if things get hairy, like, you can just bounce, right? Like, it's a great escape class. You can provide food and water for your party. You've got ports when you get to level 40. Yeah, I mean, he's basically just preaching to the choir at this point. I freaking love mage, but yeah, my man, it sucks that he lost his mage. I'm hurting for him.
In cities, and I said yes to everyone when I was able to do so. I poured it. One time I discovered the joy of an MMORPG and helping others when a level 14 asked me to teleport him to Thunderbluff. This was in the morning. I just woke up. I logged into WoW to admire my alive character. And he said, hey, yo, bro, can you spot me a teleport to Thunderbluff? And I was like, of course, no problem. So I clicked teleport to Thunderbluff, and suddenly I was in Thunderbluff.
He didn't know.
Hold on, I accidentally teleported.
He didn't know what it was. Oh.
So I teleport back to Orgrimmar, and I whisper him, can you come to the Valley of Spirits? He's like, of course, I'm on my way. So, okay, I said I'll meet you there. I teleport to the Valley of Spirits in Orgrimmar. I meet him halfway on the path as he comes to the high ground, and I leave the Valley of Spirits. Then I look through my mage book. I realize I don't have Thunderbluff Allied Portal. So I said, hold on, sir. I'm a new mage. Give me a moment. So I teleport back to Thunderbluff.
Oh,
I buy the ability to teleport allies, because I was like level 54. I already have the Thunder Bluff
Yeah.
unlock to be able to teleport
You
allies.
teleport
I just
that.
didn't buy it yet. So I go back to Thunder Bluff, get the portal, purchase the training, teleport back to Orgrimmar. He comes further to meet me, and I make a portal for him. The whole thing took more than 10 minutes, maybe, to realize everything and to meet each other. But hey, I helped to level 14 get to Thunder Bluff fast, and that
Hell
felt
yeah.
good. And I didn't charge him anything for it. Yeah. So what? After my mates died, I was thinking I'm probably gonna go priest or rogue, and I had already started making a rogue alternate. Actually, I wanted to make a warrior first, but Chad said rogue might be more fun. But there was something about playing rogue that just didn't really appeal to me. So on that unfaithful time where my undead mage died, I thought maybe I should go orc. I've always wanted to do orc shaman. I thought maybe I could do hunter or warlock again. I did a number of polls, pretending that this is in some way a total democracy. And I think hunter won in warlock, hunter, shaman. And then I did some other polls with rogue and warrior included. And I just kept running it back over and over and over. But really, I didn't really feel like playing any of these classes. Druid was a class that I had been thinking about playing. And why am I even considering other races than undead, by the way? Because I could do priest, rogue, or warrior. But I also kind of felt like the undeads, not all of them, but some of them, didn't deserve my points. Now, you know how this whole thing is an OnlyFans endeavor. It's this streamer collaborative guild. It's a content guild, and the 4 races of the Horde are juxtaposed against each other to perform the highest total points achievement, which is a self-chosen challenge and point system by OnlyFans the guild.
This is a big reason why I haven't tipped my hat, if you will, into the OnlyFans world. I kind of like being outside of it because it's a lot of like pressure. It kind of becomes your whole life. And if you have a career, a side hustle, a second side hustle, it can get a little crazy. So I kind of admire that. I admire what they do, but the pressure of what they do, I could also see being like stressful depending on who you are.
Spearheaded by soda popping. Basically, the 4 races are in contests with each other in order to earn rewards. Basically, the guild is guild self-found, which means that we do not trade with non-guildies, but there are some exceptions. Soda Popping uses money and gets items from viewers, and he gets things on the auction house, and he then puts that in the tribute chest, and the tribute chest goes into a kind of raffle based on how many points every race achieves. And then when certain prizes are allocated towards each individual race, the leaders of those races will allocate items to their underlings, anyone that's a part of that guild. Now, whether this is distributed by merit, connections, meeting attendance, or need, I wasn't really too sure about it. But what I did know is that I was a top 150 performer in the guild in terms of points contribution. I had only died once, I had given more than 200 points, but I had never gotten a single item from the guild. Now, I tried to join the meetings, but the meetings were unfortunately not super to my liking. And I wasn't the only one that felt so, but even though maybe some people spoke up, including me, not much was changing. Now, what is my problem with the undead meetings? Why did I barely ever attend? Well, I tried it 4 or 5 times in a row, but usually when I joined a meeting, there was not a lot of constructive discussion going on, nor particularly fun roleplay. Usually after a few seconds, someone would start shouting, F you, F you, F you, and it would be so loud that I would kind of nope out of it because I didn't feel like we were achieving all that much.
Yeah.
I think if it wasn't for the undisciplined nature of the meetings where people can't really have a conversation or some discussion with some standard discipline and rules, it might have been fun to join the meetings.
I imagine that's also maybe a communication issue with the tech. Like, if you could in those meetings somehow only have one person talk at a time, but with how Discord works, how WoW chat works, I don't think, even if it's limited to an extent, I feel like someone could still be like, ugh, and like freak out, you know?
I was really motivated to do my part, to add points to the guild, and to add points to Undead. And I was proud of the fact that Undead had the highest points total in the whole last 4 to 5 weeks that this thing has been going. but somehow I was snubbed for all of the items. If you don't attend the meetings, or if you don't know the leadership, you won't get anything. So the fair to me seems like if everyone puts in what they need, and then the guild leadership reviews what class everyone is, who is a good recipient for one or other things, and kind of discusses those things, maybe kind of organize it in a Discord. But that never happened. So I say, fuck them. I'm gonna join Torrent. Maybe they need my help, and maybe they will have better meetings, hopefully. And hopefully those meetings will be fun, and hopefully the loot will be distributed better, and hopefully I can give them a lot of points. So, Torrent.
It sounds like it's very hierarchical as well, like in the undead meetings. We'll see how it goes. I wish him all the best, honestly. Let's see with how he wraps this up real quick.
Torrent also has Druid, which is a class that I found interesting because it's quite versatile.
Oh yeah.
You can do tanking, you can do damage, you can do healing. And what I'm gonna do, I'm not sure yet. I'll probably try everything out a bit. Now, because there's a little bit more time pressure than before, I am going to be using rested XP this time. If I actually hate it, I might turn it off. I don't know. And I'm still probably going to be verging from the optimal path from time to time to do my own thing, to run dungeons, do quests that I think are fun that I haven't done before, that may not be rested XP optimal. But I think it'll be nice to take away a little bit of the confusion of how I'm going to be managing my quests and doing inefficient travel all over the map, especially now that I don't have the benefit of mage portals. No, I can't just teleport to Undercity and Orgrimmar anymore and so on.
I love how he's still processing this. I mean, I would be too, man. I've been processing the death of my 41 mage. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that he's vibing with this particular class, but I feel the pain. It's gonna be okay, Grubby. We love you. We support you.
So I did hear we get to teleport through to Moonglade, which is pretty.
You do, cool. Yeah, you do get Moonglade.
But certainly, I've lost a lot of logistics. I don't even have a mount anymore.
The frustration.
I don't have carrot on a stick. But the good thing is, we are going to be having some cat form. I don't know exactly when, but we're going to have some mobility from that. And I'm going to be doing some of the early dungeons again. And now that I know...
I remember what I was going to say. It sounds like he plays WoW kind of like I do. I don't do rested XP or any of that stuff. I just kind of let the journey guide me. I just kind of do what I feel like doing. I don't do things in a particular order, and I really admire that. I think that's how the game's meant to be played. Like, it should feel like an adventure. And that's why I think the deadline is kind of, to me, a little bit stupid and arbitrary. Like, I think at the end of the day, you should be playing this game because it's fun and there's real stakes and it helps you build community with your friends. And I'm glad he's going to maintain that and not bow to the overarching Only Fangs power structure just to raid on the 18th or whatever the hell it is. Like, kudos to you, Grubs. Kudos to you.
The dungeons a little bit better. I'm gonna be able to enjoy those. I'm looking forward to doing Ragefire Chasm and Wailing Caverns. But here's one very important thing. I need to forget all the vaunted power that my undead mage had, and I need to go back to humble mindset of being a level 4 druid warrior. For I have started leveling just a little bit on that fateful night. I'm level 4. It's a new beginning. And I need to get back into the humble mindset that level 6 mobs are scary, which is crazy, because I was shitting on level 55 mobs before. I was AoE pulling 15 mobs at the same time. But we go back to the start. And I take on this journey with relish.
Go again.
It's been so much fun. You guys have been so supportive. Let's get into it. I'll see you guys in the next videos. If you want to follow my journey live, check out my live stream on Twitch, and you'll be seeing me there. Learning about a whole new class, learning about melee mechanics, and Druid. Thanks for following me on this journey. Hope you had fun so far, and let's get into it and try to make raid level 60. Cheers.
We go again, boys. We go again. And I mean, I think that's the thing with this sort of stuff is you can look at it and say, well, shoot, this game sucks and I hate it and I'm never gonna do it again. Or you can, embrace that death is a part of hardcore WoW and part of the game, and part of the fun and the longevity of playing is getting to go again and getting to like learn lessons from old characters and stuff like that. Kudos to you, Grubster. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. This was super fun to react to this stuff. So be safe out there on your new druid. If you ever watch this, you probably won't. But if you ever do come across my little corner of the internet, be safe. Know that there are people rooting for you, clearly. And you're freaking Giga Chad and a good dude. And it was super cool hearing you process everything. And yeah, hopefully we will both make it to 60 on our next characters, because as of right now, I'm on my journey to 60 as well. So kudos to you, sir. Hell yeah.